In the heart of West Africa, where the earth glows red beneath the sun and the forests hum with spirits older than memory, there lived a young blacksmith named Kofi Aremu. Kofi Aremu was a young blacksmith known throughout the region for his gifted hands. Every morning, the ringing of his hammer echoed through the village like the heartbeat of the sun. People often said the ancestors guided his craft, for no blade he shaped cracked, and no farming tool he made ever needed repair. Still, despite the admiration he received, Kofi longed to craft something truly legendary, a creation that would be remembered throughout the ages. Beneath his calm and humble demeanor, this quiet desire stirred like embers waiting for wind. One warm evening, as he packed away his tools, Kofi felt an unusual pull coming from the direction of the ancient Iroko forest. It was as though something unseen tugged at his chest, urging him deeper. The wind rustled in a rhythmic pattern, almost like whispers calling his name. He hesitated, remembering the elders' warnings about spirits that wandered among the trees. But the call was persistent, soft, yet compelling. Against his better judgment, Kofi followed the whispering breeze into the heart of the forest. The deeper Kofi walked, the quieter the forest became. Birds stopped singing, and the wind seemed to hold its breath. In a hidden clearing, sunlight filtered through the tall Iroko trees and illuminated a strange object buried in the soil. Kofi approached cautiously and saw a sword partially embedded in the earth. Its blade was forged from a dark, almost liquid metal that absorbed the light around it. Runes were carved along the hilt, shifting symbols that seemed alive, rearranging themselves with every blink. Compelled by curiosity, Kofi knelt and brushed away the dirt. The moment his fingers touched the hilt, a sharp jolt shot through his arm like lightning. He gasped and fell back, his heart pounding. A voice, soft and ancient, whispered from nowhere and everywhere at once. "You have awakened me." Kofi rubbed his palms, staring in disbelief. The sword pulsed gently like a heart beating. Something told him the blade was not meant to be left here. With trembling hands, he lifted it free from the earth, and the forest seemed to exhale. Kofi hurried back home with the sword hidden under a cloth. Troubled by its strange energy, he sought out Mama Aduni, the oldest and wisest elder in the village. The moment she lifted the cloth and saw the blade, she recoiled as if struck. Her eyes widened with a fear Kofi had never seen. "This is the Alafin blade," she whispered, crossing herself with trembling hands. "Forged by Oregon, the mad sorcerer Smith. That weapon carries a curse that once drowned kingdoms in despair." The other elders gathered as Mama Aduni explained the blade's dark past. Oregon had forged it to hold the power of many spirits. But the spirits rebelled, cursing the sword and its wielder. The weapon carried great strength but corrupted the heart of anyone who touched it. The elders begged Kofi to destroy it, but he hesitated. The sword had a strange pull on him, a curiosity he could not shake. And deep in his mind, he heard a soft whisper, "They fear what they cannot understand." Despite the warnings, Kofi could not bring himself to part with the sword. He hid it in his workshop and tried to return to his normal routine. But something had changed. His strength increased, his precision sharpened, and his forging skills surpassed anything he'd ever achieved. Tools he shaped glimmered with uncanny durability. Warriors came from distant regions to commission weapons. Kofi became known as Kofi the Miracle Smith. But with every success, the sword whispered more boldly, "You are destined for greatness. Why live as a simple craftsman?" Kofi found himself waking in the middle of the night, drawn to the sword's eerie glow. His dreams were filled with visions of ancient battles and kingdoms bowing to him. He brushed these thoughts aside, but slowly they took root. Power tasted sweet and dangerously addictive. As weeks passed, the curse began to reveal itself. Kofi's once gentle patience frayed like worn rope. Small annoyances lit sparks of anger within him. One afternoon, when a farmer complained about a hoe that felt too heavy, Kofi slammed his hand on his work table, splitting it clean in half. The villagers exchanged uneasy glances. No ordinary man possessed such strength. Kofi's eyes began to change too. Their warm, dark brown glow dimmed, replaced by a sharper, colder gaze. At night, he heard faint whispers curling around his workshop. Shadows moved even when no wind blew. Mama Aduni visited him one evening and stared hard at him. "The sword is feeding on you," she said firmly. "Your spirit is slipping." Kofi wanted to deny it, but deep inside, he felt himself being hollowed out. Knowing he could no longer ignore the danger, Kofi packed the blade and returned to the ancient Iroko forest. The moment he stepped beneath its towering trees, the air shifted. Leaves rustled in waves, and the forest hummed with an unseen presence. Kofi approached the clearing where he had discovered the blade. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and the bark of the largest Iroko tree cracked open to reveal a glowing spirit face. The forest spirit spoke with a booming yet sorrowful voice. "Kofi Aremu, you carry a burden that does not belong to mortals." Kofi knelt, pleading for guidance. The spirit explained that the sword could not be destroyed by human hands. It had to be returned to the Well of Echoes, a sacred spring where ancient magic was born. The journey would be dangerous. The sword would resist. But if unattended, the blade would eventually unleash destruction beyond imagining. Kofi swallowed his fear and accepted the quest. The path to the Well of Echoes led Kofi into forbidden parts of the forest. As he walked, the shadows deepened and the trees twisted unnaturally, their branches curling like claws. The sword grew heavier with every step, as if trying to anchor him to the earth. Out of nowhere, a chilling laugh echoed through the trees. The air crackled and a figure formed from swirling smoke. The spirit of Oregon, the sorcerer smith who forged the cursed blade. Oregon's voice slithered like oil. "You think you can end my creation? You think yourself stronger than me?" The apparition lunged and Kofi felt the sword tugging at his arm, urging him to strike, but he refused. The battle that followed was not one of physical blows, but one of will. Kofi remembered his father's teachings. A true smith controls the metal, never the other way around. With this truth, he resisted the sword's influence, weakening Oregon's spirit. Rage twisted Oregon's face as his smoky form flickered. At last, Kofi reached the Well of Echoes, a circular pool of shimmering blue water surrounded by ancient carved stones. The air around it vibrated with power. As he approached, the sword shook violently in his grip, glowing with a furious red light. "Do not do this," it hissed. "I can make you feared. I can make you eternal." Kofi stepped to the edge of the well. His arm trembled as he lifted the sword. The whispers grew desperate, turning into shrieks. Then, with a final cry of defiance, Kofi hurled the sword into the well. A blinding flash erupted. The ground rumbled as the curse shattered, dissolving the sword and severing Oregon's lingering spirit. The air grew still, and for the first time in weeks, silence filled Kofi's mind. Exhausted but free, Kofi returned to his village. The people gasped when they saw him. His eyes had regained their warm glow, and the oppressive aura around him had vanished. Mama Aduni embraced him, whispering words of gratitude to the ancestors. "You resisted temptation," she said proudly. "That is a victory greater than any battle fought with weapons." The villagers held a cleansing ceremony in Kofi's honor, thanking the spirits for his safe return. Though many had feared him, they now recognized his bravery and the burden he carried. Kofi humbly accepted their blessings, grateful to have regained his true self. He vowed never again to let pride or power guide his heart. In the years that followed, Kofi's workshop once again rang with the steady rhythm of his hammer. Travelers came not only for his skill, but for his wisdom. He shared his story openly, teaching young apprentices that power without discipline is a chain that binds the soul. The villagers said Kofi's spirit grew stronger than any blade he ever forged, and though the Alafin blade was gone forever, its legacy remained, not as a tale of destruction, but as a reminder of Kofi's courage. Children gathered around fires at night to hear the story of the blacksmith who faced a cursed sword and chose the path of wisdom. Through this tale, generations learned that true strength comes not from the weapons we wield, but from the choices we make. Moral of the story: power gained without wisdom is a path that leads only to darkness. True strength lies in mastering oneself. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications button for more stories.